At LionAid, we are dedicated to the conservation and preservation of lions. We realise that community participation in reducing levels of poaching is one of the most effective means available for the fight against wildlife crime. Yet this solution is among the most underutilised. In Kenya, wildlife populations are greatly dependent on seasonal coexistence with pastoralist communities. Nationally, protected areas only cover 8% of the land. Ensuring that rural communities have sustainable livelihoods involving wildlife ensures value and protection of the resource. Retaliation is frequent despite established laws and is increasingly including aspects of poaching. Coexistence has always depended on tolerance despite loss of domestic animals through predation, spread of wildlife diseases, and loss of crops. Nowadays, I also like the lion because I've heard it is the main producer of money, although I don't like them to be close to my boma. Communities form the foundation from which wildlife protection can be built upwards. If the communities do not value wildlife, there is little hope to convince governments it must remain. Pastoralists recognise a cultural and historical value of wildlife with which they have coexisted for hundreds of years. They also recognise that wildlife can be destructive of their livelihoods. Unless their livelihoods can effectively benefit from wildlife, community members will engage in poaching themselves or facilitate it by others. Pastoralist communities like the Maasai in Kenya are highly receptive to new ideas in wildlife conservation, especially if such ideas can be implemented by the communities themselves. Nobody has asked us before. Our animals are our wealth and we need them to survive. We thank you. Merueshi elders gather to discuss the conflict mitigation program. A week later, elephants killed 3 people in this area. A boma in Katengala, where predators killed over 30 sheep in 6 months. With the addition of lights, there have been no further predation incidents. Conflict mitigation scheme. A. Protect cattle enclosures with addition of blinking lights, a proven and effective deterrent. B. Communities pay for the lights with livestock, held locally as an insurance herd. C. Subsequent predation incidents compensated from the insurance herd. D. Scheme to be administered by Council of Elders and a community officer. E. Sustainable over the long term as insurance herd reproduces and grows. Employment will ensure direct and indirect benefits from wildlife to the local community living with wildlife. We thank you for working with us to put together a sustainable solution. The illegal trade in these animals is not just an environmental tragedy. It strikes at the heart of local communities by feeding corruption and undermining stability. Communities that want to protect and cherish their wildlife need our support, and the international community must take action. With thanks to donors and individuals for support.